It's Friday the 14th of November 2025, and it's been 80 years since the German raid on Coventry, on one of the nights anyway, that destroyed the old Coventry Cathedral. And tonight we have been invited to participate in a service commemorating this event. And this way, left.
This, yes.
Up here, straight on. I am being accompanied by two Bahá'i friends of mine, Bahá'i and Mitra. And the weather is absolutely awful, but in some ways that might be a great atmosphere for this occasion. Of course, Coventry is my hometown, and or city. I was born about barely a mile away from here. And the new cathedral was built and finished in 1962 when I was 11 years old. So essentially I almost watched it being built. And so this is quite an occasion and an honour to be invited here to look at this. And here is the old cathedral. Here's the old cathedral. Because fortunately the spire survived, but the interior of the cathedral didn't. And in its day it was quite spectacular. So this event, held in the new cathedral, was commemorating the 85th anniversary of the bombing of the old cathedral, which is immediately next door to the new cathedral. And despite the awful weather this evening, and umbrellas, as you can see, were inside out, there must have been 2,000-3,000 people inside the cathedral. So it's quite an occasion, and we were very honoured to have taken part. It was quite difficult to both take part in the proceedings and film at the same time, but I held my little GoPro as best I could, and this is the result. We assembled in the Chapel of Unity. It's almost like the green room really, and there you can see the Lord Mayor of Coventry getting dressed up, along with one or two other dignitaries as well.
So we will be sitting in the stalls as we process.
The cathedral officials, led by the gentleman here, John Whitcomb, led us down through the congregation, down the middle of the cathedral, to a place at the side. And there were only three of us, a Sikh gentleman, a Hindu, and myself from the Bahá'i community in Nuneaton.
It is cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold.
Everybody, including the congregation, were given these small candles to hold, and the effect in the dark cathedral was really quite atmospheric. To add some drama to the proceedings, two gentlemen were dressed as air raid wardens, and they came forward and stood by these air raid sirens, which were very effective. This is the prayer that was prepared for me by the cathedral. O thou kind Lord, unite the hearts of all humankind and reveal in us thy great purpose. Let the light of peace shine through our differences, and let understanding grow among all peoples. Strengthen us to serve one another in love, to replace hatred with fellowship, and division with harmony. May this city and every city become a home for peace. Amen. Then after the service we made our way back through the old cathedral ruins, and you got some indication of how much of a great medieval city Coventry must have been in the past. This is a poem written by Maggie McHale, which gives a first-hand account of what it must have been like during those air raids. A siren's scream splits the night. It is our signal to shelter, quick, there to huddle underground, huddle for safety, huddle for warmth. As light beams crisscross overhead, the city waits, breathless with dread. We feel before we hear the slow earth judder of ancient massive stones torn asunder. As the very dome of the house of God is ripped open, blown apart, dashed to the ground, we cower in our shelter at the edge of town, besieged and beleaguered, beaten, bowed down. The all-clear sounds in a grey dawn, and we emerge to a city laid low. Flattened and formless, shattered and torn, here and there the fires still burn, bright against the uniform grey. Colours of hope, colours of cheer, transformed into one act of hate, into the colour of fear. And yet something remains, a foundation on which to build anew. The grey stones still guard their precious legacy, a sense of hope and a strange sense of mystery, from war and terror, destruction and pain, from the ever-destroying, ever-renewing flames, the phoenix of peace rises again. This cracked and broken city has been reborn. Through struggle a new light has formed, a beacon that shines out across the land, calling us to join together, hand in hand, and make pilgrimage to this place, to seek without ceasing until we truly find a new way, a new strength, a new vision, the path of peace and reconciliation. So there you have it, the 85th anniversary of the terrible bombing of Coventry and the destruction of the old cathedral. And I was certainly very honoured to be part of the process and reading a prayer on behalf of the Baha'is, from Nuneaton that is, and the Midlands really, and along with one or two other people. And it was good that they include an interfaith element to these important occasions, and a little background of the terrible circumstances of the Second World War, and that excellent poem about the time during the Blitz. So I've got to finally say just what a tragedy it is that we do this, that war is still happening. I was only thinking the other day, if you go up the road here and have a look at houses being built, I mean millions of pounds being spent on constructing houses and other buildings, and it takes a long time to do it. And then, for some strange reason, we as human beings have no better an idea than to go and simply blow up buildings at a great cost at that, because the armaments we use are not cheap either. So it's just as humanity got into no better position than having wars. They're just insane. the whole idea of war is just crazy. And I don't know. Let's hope we can move away from that seriously and decisively once and for all. I mean, there will always be rogue nations that do things, but and we need to be prepared for that. It's not going to be utopia, I know, but outright war, looking to just defeat and completely annihilate another country, is just quite ridiculous. Right, that's it then. I'll put this both on my regular playlist and the playlist of questions of faith, because I think it involves both things. And yeah, okay, right, finish now. Let's stop these lights flashing into your face, and yeah, you'll see me next time. Okay, bye bye.
It is reported that Baha'u'llah, the founder of the Bahá'i Faith, said this: "We desire but the good of the world and the happiness of the nations, that all nations should become one in faith and all men as brothers, that all bonds of affection and unity between the sons of men should be strengthened, that diversity of religions should cease and the differences of race be annulled. And so it shall be, these fruitless strifes, these ruinous wars, shall pass away, and the most great peace shall come."